Silver at $90 sounds like a dream to some, but others think it is a real possibility now. Something happened behind the scenes recently. It involves Donald Trump and a specific update from the Middle East. Most people were looking at the stock market. They missed the shift in the precious metals sector. Why is silver being discussed so much right now? You have to look at the geopolitical situation to understand. Trump has a specific approach to Middle Eastern relations. His latest move has changed things for the global economy. We are not just talking about oil anymore. This is about the value of the US dollar. If you own physical silver, you should pay attention. Reports are coming in about a private meeting. It was not broadcast on the major news networks, but the price data is clear. Silver has been priced low for a long time. Some analysts say the price is controlled by large banks. Now that control might stop. What exactly did Trump change in the Middle East? It starts with how trade deals are being organized. The petrodollar system is facing a major challenge. For decades, the Middle East used the dollar for energy sales. That situation is changing fast. Trump's strategy appears to be making this happen sooner. He's focusing on direct agreements between two nations. This creates a gap in the currency markets. When currencies lose value, people buy silver and gold. But silver is different because of its use in factories. Silver is used to make a lot of modern technology. It is in solar panels and electric vehicles. The demand for these items is increasing. These two factors create a specific economic environment. People are asking if $90 is the limit. Some think the price will exceed that number. The update from the Middle East suggests a new currency system. If that happens, the dollar will lose its power. Trump has spoken about the importance of stable money. He does not like the current inflation rates. Look at what happened during previous times of Middle East tension. Precious metals became more expensive. But this time, it seems like a planned change. It is not just random trouble. Many investors are moving their money into physical metal. They want to buy before the general public knows. Have you checked the cost of silver coins lately? The prices are already starting to go up. This secret update might be the main trigger. Let's look at the specific details of the Middle East deal. It is a move that could change how we view wealth. The deal involves several key countries in the region. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are central to this. They have been looking for ways to move away from Western dominance. Trump's latest discussion points toward a new trade alliance. This alliance would not rely on the US dollar as much. If the dollar loses its status, silver becomes the primary alternative. Historically, silver has been the money of the people. It is more accessible than gold for most investors. But why $90 specifically? The answer lies in the current silver to gold ratio. Right now, silver is priced much lower than gold by comparison. Many experts think that gap has to close soon. If it does, the price of silver will skyrocket. Look at the supply of silver in the world today. Mining production has been flat for several years. At the same time, industrial demand is at an all-time high. The Middle East update suggests that these nations will start stockpiling. They want tangible assets that can't be printed by a central bank. Trump has always favored a strong, asset-backed currency. He has criticized the current administration for printing too much money. This creates a situation where silver is the ultimate hedge. Have you ever wondered why silver is still so cheap? Some believe it is because of paper silver contracts. These are bets on the price, not physical metal itself. But if the Middle East stops using the dollar, those contracts fail. Physical silver will be the only thing that matters. Trump's secret update hints at a new gold and silver standard. This would reset the global financial system entirely. Imagine what that would do to your savings account. Paper money would buy much less than it does now, but a silver coin would maintain its purchasing power. Actually, its value would likely increase significantly. The $90 mark is a psychological level for many. Once it breaks that, there's very little resistance. The last time silver spiked, it almost hit $50. That was without a major geopolitical shift like this. Now, we have a complete change in Middle East policy. Trump is negotiating with leaders who want more independence. They're tired of being tied to the fluctuations of the dollar. This is why the update is being kept quiet for now. It would cause a massive panic in the bond markets. Smart investors are watching the signals very closely. They see the movement of silver from west to east. Millions of ounces are being shipped to vaults in Asia. This leaves the Western markets with very little physical supply. What happens when the supply finally runs out? The price has no choice but to go up fast. Trump's Middle East update is the catalyst for this move. It is a shift that has been years in the making. Now it is finally starting to happen in real time. Think about what happens when everyone tries to buy at once. The supply of silver is not like the supply of paper money. You cannot just print more of it when you need it. It takes years to find, mine, and refine new silver. Trump knows this better than most politicians. He has always been a fan of tangible assets like real estate. But real estate is hard to move in a crisis. Silver can be carried in your pocket or a small bag. The secret update from the Middle East highlights this portability. Nations are looking for assets they can trade instantly. If the dollar is no longer the medium, what will it be? Many believe a basket of commodities will take its place. Silver would be a massive part of that new system. This is why the $90 target is so realistic. It is not about silver getting more valuable on its own. It is about the dollar losing its value against everything else. Have you looked at the national debt recently? It is growing at a rate that is hard to even imagine. Trump has pointed this out in almost every recent speech. He warns that the current path leads to a total collapse. The Middle East leaders see the same warning signs. They are protecting their wealth by moving into metals, but this shift is happening much faster than people realize. The media is focusing on political drama instead of the economy. But the smart money is watching the silver charts. Every time the price dips, big buyers step in. They are quietly draining the available physical supply. This creates a coiled spring effect for the price. When the spring snaps, the move to $90 will be fast. It might even happen over a single month or two. Do you remember the silver spike in the late 70s? The price went up by hundreds of percent in a short time. That was driven by inflation and geopolitical fear. Today we have both of those factors, plus industrial demand. The Middle East update is the final piece of the puzzle. It signals that the world is ready for a new financial era. Trump's role in this is to facilitate a peace through strength deal. But that strength is no longer tied strictly to the dollar. It is tied to the actual resources a country possesses. The United States still has massive amounts of silver in the ground, but we are not mining it fast enough to meet demand. This creates a massive opportunity for early investors. If you wait until $90, it will be too late. The biggest gains are made before the news hits the front page. Right now, the news is still secret or unconfirmed, but the actions of the central banks tell a different story. They are buying gold and silver at record rates. Why would they do that if the dollar was perfectly safe? The Middle East update confirms their biggest fears. The era of the dollar as the only reserve currency is ending. The transition to $90 silver would change everything. Most people keep their savings in digital bank accounts. They assume that digital money will always be there. But history shows that currencies eventually lose their value. Silver has outlived every paper currency ever created. Trump's latest Middle East update focuses on this stability. He wants to ensure that the U.S. remains a leader, but leadership in the future requires a solid financial base. This is why there is talk of a new trade currency. It would likely be backed by commodities like oil and silver. If this happens, the demand for silver would explode. Central banks would need to hold it as a reserve asset. That has not happened in a very long time. When central banks start buying, the price never stays low. Think about the current price of a single silver ounce. Now imagine that same ounce being worth $90. That is a massive increase in purchasing power. It could be the difference between retirement and struggle. Why aren't more people talking about this on the news? The financial system depends on people staying in the dollar. If everyone left at once, the system would break immediately. That is why these updates are often kept under the radar. Trump's strategy is to prepare for the shift before it hits. He has always been ahead of the curve with economic trends. The Middle East is the perfect place for this to start. It is the center of the world's energy and trade routes. If they move to silver, the rest of the world follows. Look at the mining stocks and how they are reacting. They are showing signs of a major breakout soon. This usually happens right before the physical metal spikes. Have you thought about how you would store your silver? Security becomes a much bigger deal at $90. People will be looking for real assets during the transition. The secret update suggests the window is closing fast. It is not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Trump's influence in the region is making this move possible. He is building bridges with leaders who value real money. This is a shift away from the debt-based economy. It is a return to an economy based on actual production. Silver is the essential ingredient for that production. Every smartphone and computer needs silver to function. The military also uses massive amounts of silver for tech. The supply is being squeezed from every single direction. The Middle East update is the spark that lights the fire. You can see the signs if you know where to look. Watch the exchange rates and the price of silver closely. The $90 mark is closer than it appears. Don't be surprised when the news finally breaks wide open. By then, the smart money will already be positioned. This is the new reality of the global financial system.